once again to Real Shame. This is our final installment of this year's Shark Week, where we're coming at you every day with a new shark movie that either one or both of us haven't seen. I'm Adam.
I'm Andy.
And this week we're ending the whole week with a movie from the late 90s, and Andy's going to tell you all about that movie today.
Yeah. PhD candidate Stephen McRae travels to South Africa to see a friend, only to find himself investigating said friend's death at the hand of sharks in Shark Attack.
Bum, bum, bum.
So what do you think?
Pretty impressive.
Quite a change from the university labs, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, we get by.
Yes, Stephen, you always get by.
It's a shame you didn't make it in time for the services. Corinne has been taking it quite hard.
Corinne? What's she doing in Africa?
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't know.
Know what? Where's Mark?
Mark's dead, Stephen.
What? No. How did it,
Well, I found what remained of him in the stomach of a blacktip.
So Shark Attack came out in May of 1999. It's actually a TV movie. It premiered on HBO back in the day. HBO is an HBO film. It's directed by Bob Misiorowski, written by Scott Devine and William Hook. And it takes place in South Africa, and it was filmed in South Africa. The city that they're in is like Port Aransas, which is not a real city, but it was actually filmed in South Africa.
Lots
it stars
of verisimilitude in that one.
That's right. It stars Casper Van Dien, fresh off of Starship Troopers a couple of years prior to this. He stars as Stephen McRae. Jenny McShane as Corinne DeSantis. Bentley Mitchum as Dr. Miles Craven. Tony Caprari is Manny, his driver. And Ernie Hudson, that's right, Ernie Hudson, one of the Ghostbusters, is Lawrence Rhodes.
With a British accent.
And honestly, I think Casper Van Dien and Ernie Hudson are the only two people I've actually seen before in this movie. I didn't know who anybody else was.
I didn't either, but I did read in the trivia that Jenny McShane shows up in the second or third Shark Attack movie as a completely different character.
Oh, I always liked it when that happens.
Yeah. So what'd you think? I meant, I'm going to throw it over to you. I know you entered the movie, but what'd you think about Shark Attack? Did you know anything about it before watching it?
No, when we were picking shark movies, again, we just are like, this one looks good. Okay, maybe that one. And This is just one. I was like, late 90s, Casper Van Dien, he's kind of hot off of Starship Troopers and stuff. So, yeah, and I think I also saw that Ernie Hudson was in it. I was like, okay, Ernie Hudson, Casper Van Dien, let's go for it. But I knew nothing about it.
We needed Ernie Hudson and Ghost Shark.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah, for sure. It would have been better than this. I did not like this movie. I mean, I even buy a made for cable movie because I mean, obviously Sharknado was a Sci-Fi Channel. Wasn't Ghost Shark a Sci-Fi Channel movie? I want to say it was. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think it might have been another kind of like cable or Sci-Fi Channel movie or something like that. But even for like a cable movie, I'm going to lower, I would lower my standards maybe for a movie like that. Especially, I mean, nowadays HBO and a lot of these streaming services come out with some really good movies from time to time. Of course, they come out with a lot of crap as well. But I tend to think of them back then as having more misses than hits.
Yes.
And this one is definitely a huge, huge miss. I thought this film was, I don't want to say that dull. I mean, I guess stuff happens in it. I wrote down that I think the script was written by a third grader because I thought that the script was really just simplistic and stupid. The dialogue was really, really painful to hear, kind of like the Raekwon.
Do you think Deep Blue Sea came out before? Deep Blue Sea came out before this movie, right?
I mean, it's the same year. I'm not sure if it came out.
It feels like they looked at it's like, hey, you can copy my homework, but you have to change a few things to make it different.
Yeah.
And they did that, and they just made it shit.
Made it terrible.
Copy my homework, but make it shitty. And it's like
it's been a while since I've seen Deep Blue Sea, but does that use a lot of CGI or does that use practical effect? Do you remember at all?
It uses CGI because I remember like the shark jumping out.
But it's still pretty fun, right?
It's a lot of fun, but it's also like we're using these sharks as laboratory experiments to cure some ailment.
Oh, I didn't
all
realize
kind of
that. I forgot all about that.
And in this movie, it's cancer.
Yeah.
Spoiler. In Deep Blue Sea, it's Alzheimer's.
I see. Okay, yeah. No, then that totally.
Yeah.
Your analogy totally definitely makes sense there. I didn't remember Deep Blue Sea had that kind of plot, but yeah, I mean the acting in this is terrible. Oh well, so what I was going to say was whether or not Deep Blue Sea uses practical effects or CGI effects, this movie is one of those movies that I mentioned kind of earlier in the week. Everything seems to be stock footage.
Yeah.
Like every time there's a shark attack, you can tell it's just footage of some shark that they got from somewhere. Again, stock footage. They cut to Casper Van Dien or whoever over here going, ah! And you don't ever really see much of anything hit them. You might see a little piece of like they constructed a little like board's worth of shark-looking material, and they go like that. But most of it, you never, and so the way that it's edited is horrendous.
Yeah, they try to do like quick cuts to make it look like it's attacking.
It doesn't work at all.
No, I agree.
You could tell they took some National Geographic or whatever footage of a shark, and then they cut to Jenny McShane or whoever is in the water, and then they cut back to the stock footage, and back to her, and she's like doing like this, and they do edit it really fast to make it seem as though it's all seamless, and it's not. It all looks bad. Every shark attack in this movie looks terrible. The most fun that I had with this movie is when it seems like every time the bad guys are killing somebody, they're like cracking themselves up. They're like laughing. They like hit a guy. They're like, I was laughing with them. That's the only time that I really had fun. I just thought the movie was, I mean, I guess it was dull. Even though they do a lot of running around. Him and Jenny McShane do a lot of running around.
The biggest issue for me with this movie is that there's like a mystery plot they're trying to solve. And it's like, oh, how this guy die? Why did he die? And all this kind of stuff. And they're uncovering this like greater conspiracy, you know? And it's just like, you know, it's almost like we said with Beta earlier in the week. It's like, no, we just want to see people get mauled by shark. Like, we don't need this greater conspiracy. We're using sharks to genetically cure cancer, and this doctor who's evil is actually good because he cured this kid's cancer and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like, we don't need any of that stuff, and we spend more time out of the water chasing down leads than we do having shark attacks.
Agreed.
And I feel like that is a big letdown for this movie, in my opinion.
I agree. I think you stated it beautifully, and I completely agree. Because they can't even do the shark attacks right.
Yeah.
And so the shark attacks don't even, make it any better.
It's like they don't have the budget for a shark attack, so they're like, we're just going to do a mystery surrounded by sharks.
Yeah, and when you first start watching the movie, I mean, I was like, well, Ernie Hudson's probably going to be a bad guy, right? And he is. He's
the name. And he's not the star, so
right.
Be right.
He's a bad guy. And then the guy that plays the doctor,
Bentley,
or the Dr. Miles Craven, Bentley Mitchum. I mean, you're like, well, he's a bad guy too. And at the end, it turns out he's not working with Ernie Hudson, but he's still a pretty bad guy. Like, I mean, so it's not like he's really redeemed. But at the end, he's like, see, we weren't working together as he's dying. And you're like, yeah, you're still like a jerk. And like you were trying to rush this cure for cancer and meanwhile killing these people and you didn't care. So
just testing
you're still an ass. So I kind of stomped on what you thought of it. But
I think I'm exactly with you. It's just not good, not fun, terrible editing, terrible acting.
Yeah.
And we spend more time. It reminds me a lot of when we watched, what was it? Was it The Spirit that we watched? The TV movie?
Oh, yeah, with Sam Jones. Yeah,
Sam Jones, where it's just like, we're focusing on the wrong parts of the story, right? It's like we're focusing on the uninteresting, like, not good parts. And so, it's kind of disappointing in that. And for that, and it's surprising that there's actual sequels for this movie. There's a Shark Attack 2 and a Shark Attack 3. They both have subtitles. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head.
Yeah, it looked like one of them was like Megalodon, like almost like the Meg or something. So I wonder if they don't try and be a little bit campier, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to watch one of these years and find out.
We'll have to do all the sequels Shark Week.
Oh man, we're already annually working our way through the Sharknado movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can take 2 franchises.
Yeah,
or
for
we'll
sure.
see. No, I don't know. But based on the strength of this one,
Yeah, I
I'm
just feel like this
dubious.
one just killed the energy in the room. Us talking about it.
Yeah.
It's that bad, guys. So yeah, I would definitely skip this. Yeah, I do have the sequels. Maybe they're worth watching. I don't know. So bad.
Only one way to find out.
All right, so where are the audiences on this? Where's the
So
critics?
this is 0% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it had maybe like 4 or 5 critics, so not many, but still, none of them liked it, and it's 23% audience score.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah,
It's a rough movie.
yeah, it's bad.
Not even Casper Van Dien himself could save it.
No,
Not
and I
even
mean,
with a jawline like that.
you know, it's not like he's like a great actor or anything like that, but yeah, he's not very good in this. Nobody's really that good. I mean, Ernie Hudson's fine. He's always fine, but everybody else is eh.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I like the Manny character, the guy that kind of drives him around. I kind of like that guy.
He just feels,
I mean, you know, he's like
he feels like a stock character,
zany
like we've seen him in so
yeah,
many things.
but I don't know. I thought he was okay. He was all right.
Yeah.
The zany sidekick guy.
Yeah, I
Has
can see
some
that.
one-liners every now and then. All right, so what would you rate Shark Attack?
I was oscillating between a 1 and a bomb for this guy. I think although we said 1 is a bomb, and I'm giving it a bomb. It's not as bad as Raquan. It's not as bad as Mako, but it's still pretty bad. I don't think it's a lot redeeming. So for me, it's a bomb.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm not gonna go bomb, but I'm only gonna go 1.5 fins for this one because
All right.
it's not. I gave Bait 2, and it's not as good as Bait's, but I don't think it's as bad.
I
Not
do
quite
like-
as bad as Mako or
I do
Raquan.
like you said, it's not as good as Bait. That means Bait is kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Bait was watchable.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been more fun. But this movie, it would have had to do a lot more to be more fun and be better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this one's 1.5 for me and bomb for you.
Yep, that's right. All right. Well, that was Shark Attack, our 7th and final shark movie
It's
for
all
this
over.
week. We don't have to do this again until next year when Discovery Channel's like, we're doing Shark Week again. And then we're like, oh crap, we got to find shark movies to watch.
Easy to do.
Easy to
There's
do.
a million.
You can just Google shark and you come up with a lot of them.
Yep.
All right. Anything you'd like to add? You'd like to recap this week before we close it out?
I mean, I always think this is pretty fun, just kind of watch. Because honestly, I don't find myself watching that many shark movies outside of doing Shark Week. So I think it's fun to do this as we do. And I would say out of this week's movies, obviously 47 Meters Down and The Shallows are the 2 best ones.
I agree.
To me, followed by Bait. To me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything else is kind of
Yeah. I want you to let us know what your favorite shark movies are.
yes.
Maybe they're ones that we've seen. Maybe they're ones that we haven't. We can prioritize those and we can watch those going forward. So that would be fun to do. So if you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment down below. If you're listening to us, shoot us an email, realshame@gmail.com. And we'll see you next week with our normal episodes where we'll watch movies that we haven't seen before and review them for your viewing pleasure. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe out there in them waters. Bye.